Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to our channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode, I'm going to feature another unconfirmed Sansevieria. Although this time, this particular Sansevieria, I'm not sure if we can call it a species or if it is a hybrid. But what I have gathered as for the information about it is that this Sansevieria is a product of self-pollination from a species. So it's just the same as saying that if you have fruits from a tree that is self-pollinated by natural or natural means, or some insects, birds, or whatever that is found nearby that plant, it will just result to the same type of tree with the same type of fruit that it will bear in the future. For example, if you have a mango tree and it blooms, most insects, birds, and everyone, or all the natural pollinators will pollinate them, and they will grow fruits, and they will be mango fruits. And then from there, some of the fruits will fall, some of them will grow. So you don't call that seedling that has grown from that mango tree a hybrid, because in natural ways that tree was self-pollinated by the pollinators, and there are no other same species or same genus of the mango tree that will be crossed with it. So the resulting seedlings that will grow will still be known as a mango tree. So what's different with what I'm showing you right now is that this is claimed to be a self-pollination of the species Metallica. So perhaps I can share to you a brief origin of the plant which I am presenting. By the way, this plant or Sansevieria that is unconfirmed, or I cannot confirm, is known to be Sansevieria Skyline. So Sansevieria Skyline, if I may share the post or the information from the post of Bro Seto, one of our colleague, is that it was Mr. Fajar who got a plant labeled Sansevieria Metallica from Bob Smalley. So that same plant flowered or had an inflorescence and bloomed. Therefore, he self-pollinated it. That is the story. But on a personal note, though, I can see some resemblance of the species Metallica from it. But what is mind-boggling, though, perhaps one of the wonders of Sansevieria, is that some seedlings will not retain the original form or shape of its fruit bearer or the mother plant. So this one has ceased to become what the original Sansevieria Metallica species would look like. So that is the origin plant, as said on the information that I have gathered. According to Mr. Fajar, he pollinated his specimen of Sansevieria Metallica coming from Bob Smalley, and some of the seedlings I will explain later, but I will just go on and read through the information that I'm sharing from Bro Seto. So the result, he self-pollinated it going back, and the result seems to be odd, because only a handful of seeds were formed. If it were true species or true to form seedlings remains a big question. Mr. Fajar called this specimen as Metallica mongrel. So he called that specimen of Metallica that he got from Bob Smalley as Metallica mongrel. So after approximately 3 months, seeds germinated. So it's just like my tabora here. So my tabora is also pollinated, but it's pollinated with a Sansevieria hybrid, and there are some fruits that are about to be formed from it. So let me spot some fruits. There you go. If you can see the inner cluster of the flower tubes that are already wilted, you will see that there are fruits hidden on the center part. I can't there's another one on there. I'm focusing. So those are already fruits formed. So on inside the fruit, you will discover that there are seeds of Sansevierias on them. So going back to the topic, in approximately 3 months, seeds germinated and produced different variety in form and coloration. So seeds coming from that plant of Mr. Fajar, he planted the seeds, germinated, and a lot of them didn't look like the normal Metallica. So uh, like I already read and mentioned, seeds germinated and produced different variety in form and coloration. All were said to be different from the parent Metallica. So also Mr. Pahar continued on crossing the same specimen, and until such time that the variants came out as Black Rose. I've already featured Black Rose in this channel. All you have to do is to check or type in Black Rose on the search tab of the channel itself. Don't type on the search tab of YouTube, because it will give you results that you do not need. So you need to find where the search tab of the channel itself, and you will type the Black Rose word on it, and it will direct you to the Sansevieria Black Rose that we are talking about. So there are variants that were produced according to the that resulted to the self-pollination that Mr. Fajar did on his specimen of his Metallica, which he calls Metallica mongrel. And one of them is Black Rose. Another one is Silver Rose, which is different from what I'm showing you right now, because mine is called Skyline. So this is Sansevieria Skyline. It's the one that I am featuring to you right now. So I'm going closely. The difference between it with Black Rose is that my specimen of Skyline is also darker, but the difference is that if I'm going to focus, you will see that there are lines, longitudinal lines on the leaf. If the longitudinal lines were not present though, then it would just be very similar to Sansevieria Black Rose as well, because Sansevieria Black Rose is dark. So you can see that there are lines on them. That's why that might be the reason why the breeder of this particular seedling called it Skyline, because there are longitudinal lines that are present on Sansevieria Skyline. So that's one of the difference that I can point out between Skyline and Black Rose. Otherwise, Black Rose and Skyline will just look very similar to each other, and that is also because they are also seedlings. So this is the back part of the leaf of Sansevieria Skyline. So the lines are not present on the back part of the leaf. They are just present on the front part of the leaf, and you can barely see them because the bandings on the leaf of Skyline is composed of pale green and dark green. So the longitudinal lines on them are actually dark green that matches the dark green bandings aside from the pale green. So aside from that, I think that is one of the distinctive characteristics that you can point out with regards to Skyline in comparison to Black Rose and Silver Rose. So Silver Rose From the name itself, is more silvery than Black Rose and Skyline. Um, it might be that the darker mottlings on Silver Rose is minimal compared to what you see in front of you right now, which is mostly having more dark bandings proliferating the leaf rather than the pale green color. So that is one distinct characteristics of a silver rose in comparison to Skyline, is that it is silvery in color. It is lighter in color, if I may say. Aside from that, though, I don't have Silver Rose to compare this with, so I'm not sure. I think Silver Rose doesn't have longitudinal lines on them as well. And also, in the original Metallica species, you wouldn't see longitudinal lines as well. So I'm wondering why Skyline has longitudinal lines on them, because I'm not sure, because I'm not present when Mr. Fajar did the self pollination. If there are other Sansevierias that are blooming in the area, perhaps natural pollinators can also help out without the person noticing it. I myself on this channel, I have had some help with a natural pollinator, which is a moth. I cannot identify what species of moth it is, but I have shared it on the shorts of the channel itself. So I think that is all I can say with regards to the giving out a brief information about this plant. What we're trying to do now is I'm trying to figure out more or if I can get more data about the characteristics of the plant in front of me, which is Sansevieria Skyline. So one of the things that we look when we're dealing with species that are very similar to each other is we try to feel for the leaf texture. So what I'm feeling right now is the front part of the leaf, or the adaxial leaf of the plant, and it is very smooth to the touch, horizontal wise or vertical wise. So the back part, let me see if I can get a clear view of the back part. So this is the back part of the leaf, also called abaxial leaf in botanical terms. So as I feel upwards, it is still smooth, but there are like bumps because of these green bandings on them. So I can feel them. I can feel the bump on them. It's not necessarily rough, but I can feel bumps on the leaf, feeling it vertically. Horizontal, though, it is smooth to the touch because you cannot feel any bumps when you feel it horizontally. So aside from that, we have managed to get the data with regards to leaf texture. Leaf tips, I would say that it's very similar to Metallica leaf tips, which is the origin plant. The leaf tip of Metallica, when very young, you can have subulate tips on them. Let me see if I can find a subulate tip for you, and we have found one. So this, folks, is a subulate tip. It's quite it's spiky, but it is if this was trifasciata, if I touch it like that, this tip would break. But in Metallicas, they're quite sturdy. So the subulate tips only appears on the very young leaves. As they grow old, the leaves would turn to wilty tips as such. The same characteristics with the Metallica that the breeder was talking about. So that's with regards to the leaf tips. Next data that we can acquire from them is probably, let me just get the ruler. I'm using the yellow ruler now because you can see the print on the ruler very clearly. So this is actually the height of the plant. I'll try to move back a bit so you can see how tall it can grow. It's about 16 to 17 inches tall. They can do stacking. This offset right here is actually stacking, and that's how the plant height overall though. For leaf, I would say the leaf would be at we were measuring some shorter ones at 9 inches, then the longer ones would be at 15 inches. So those are the um, leaf length. So for the leaf width, we can actually have this measured, and it's about 2.9 inches. 2.9 inches. We'll see if we can find a wider one. This one might be a wider one, and this one would be at exactly 3 inches or so. Let's see if we can find another measure. So there you go. I would say that the leaf width would be 2.9 to 3 inches. So that is the leaf width. Aside from that, I have nothing more to add. I think I have described all the characteristics for people that are watching, and also managed to collate data with regards to leaf size, the length, the width, the leaf texture, the leaf tips. So in conclusion, I cannot say for certain that it is still, or we can consider it a species of Metallica, because like I said, it is a seedling. There's a probability that some natural pollinators have a hand in it. That's why they have become so different from the parent plant. So I am left mind boggled, because this is one of the wonders of growing Sansevierias. There are some things that we cannot explain up to now as to why the seedlings of a Metallica species would turn as to this form or as such. They became rosette in form from the leaf blade form of Sansevieria metallica, so it is very hard to explain. So I'll leave it to the experts. For everyone who has any more information that you can share, you can leave a comment below. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can also leave a comment below. And if you like what I have featured for you, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It will help me a lot in making more content for you in the future. So aside from that, I have nothing to add. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.